look, it wasn't always pretty. And in that second half, I was wondering who had 10 men. But Newcastle have got the job done. And it looks like Europe again, ole, ole. The full match vlog and fan reactions coming up, Newcastle fans. So do us a favour, make sure you stick around.
So would you say Newcastle are one of the most popular teams in Saudi Arabia now?
Yes, now it's most popular than before.
Welcome back to Black and White Banter, ladies and gentlemen, for what is not a Carabao Cup final, but Cup final vibes. I've got Cup final fever, and it's Chelsea, and it feels like the Champions League qualification playoff final. Forget about that stupid Championship playoffs. I know some of us might be watching that on Friday. Who cares about that? It's about the Champions League playoffs, and it doesn't come much bigger than Chelsea, who we are level on points with, level on goal difference with, may I just add, other than the fact I think we've scored more, which obviously these things are crucial when everything's level. It's massive. It's a match that Newcastle United should win today. But my God, have I had plenty of nervous poos. My God, did I not get much sleep last night. And I don't want to say it's all or nothing, because there's still 6 points to play for once this game is out the way. And I think that would be stupid to say that everything is decided today. Look at Man City yesterday, 0-0 against Southampton. That was crazy. But it's massive. And you don't win these football matches, you don't put in a good performance, which is the big thing here, then you can argue you don't deserve, because our home form has been good now pretty much since Eddie Howe took over, and that has to be used to our advantage. Eddie Howe's won his 2 home games against Chelsea since he's come in, but this is huge. I'm worried about the midfield, depending on who he's going to go with again to replace Joe Linton. We don't know whether Joe Linton is going to storm in like Stone Cold Steve Austin in a Royal Rumble and surprise everyone and make the starting lineup. That's a bit of an unknown. But anyway, I'm going to take you along with us today on a beautiful sunny day, may I just add. God, I look like I'm dressed like I'm going to some sort of beach club in Benidorm, never mind the match. I'm going to take you with us, hopefully get some fan reaction. I didn't get any outside the stadium with Brighton last week, but that is the plan outside St James's Park. The cheeky old match vlog as always, and hopefully toasting what will be a massive 3 points to getting a little bit closer to me looking at how much Madrid is on Ryanair from Newcastle. Bernabeu, that would be nice. Massive game. I don't need to say that anymore. Let's get the job done. Let's get over to St James's Park for what is an awful 12 o'clock kickoff. Like, I don't know my arse from my elbow. Leaving the house just after 10 o'clock to get to St James's Park. The stadium is open right now for a beer. That's nuts. Not a fan of this at all, but the sun is shining and we need those 3 points. Away Eddie Howe, squeaky bum time, Mag.
Shite, and you know you are your 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 shite.
Right, I was not expecting to be speaking to someone who's travelled all the way from Saudi Arabia. I've been joined by Deb. I've just come out the match there. Firstly, first question I've got to ask before we get into the match, why have you travelled all this way?
To support Newcastle, of course. We're supporting him here, and in Saudi Arabia, we see all the matches here.
So you watch every single match in Saudi Arabia?
Every single match, yes.
And this is your first time travelling over?
If I'm not busy, I see it.
So have you travelled over just for this game?
Yes, just for this game.
And you're going straight back home after?
I will go to London, then back to home.
And
after this.
how many miles is that roughly? What's the journey time for that?
8 hours in flights from Saudi Arabia to London. Then come to train 3 hours.
Right, so there's going to be a lot of Newcastle fans, I feel, watching this, curious. How popular are Newcastle in Saudi Arabia since the takeover?
So much popular because they sharing now shares here, so everybody cheers for Newcastle.
Right, just out the stadium, initial thoughts on what feels like, I don't want to say one foot in the Champions League, but I'm going to say it because I said it before the match, so I'd be a hypocrite if I don't. Massive win. Give me your initial thoughts on the game.
Relief because we've got over the edge. We've got that big 3 point, got that big 3 points. So I'm happy. Do you know what I mean? Like, because we scored in the first 5 minutes, I believe, and second half we didn't really huff and puff. We didn't really have any shots to do it. Recall Gordon spent best part of the floor diving, looking for free kicks. That's his worst game I've seen Gordon play in a long time. But Bruno got the win. To make it 2-0. Relief, you know what I mean? Because we're one foot in the Champions League.
Yeah.
And the positive thing is we don't go to UEFA Conference anymore now. We definitely new UEFA Cup if we don't get Champions League football. So that's a positive thing. But I do want Champions League football.
Yeah.
But the relief is we're not in the Conference, we're in the UEFA Cup now.
So is that confirmed? Then I haven't looked that far ahead of like.
If you look at the point system, I'm sure it was.
Right, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah, because I think the other teams are like a few points behind us, so I think that's more or less guaranteed. 99% sure.
And the match itself, first half, I think we're all pretty happy.
Yeah.
Should have maybe created a few more chances. But second half, it almost looked like we were the team with 10 men.
Yes, well, that's famous though.
What do you think happened in the second half?
It's that famous though, saying it's harder to play against 10 men.
Do you think that's what it was?
Yes, and Chelsea, they're not a great team, they're a poor team. But for some strange reason, they're gritting out, and I think we're just sat back a little bit too much.
There was almost a bit of fear crept in a little bit.
I think the fans were like trying the best to get them through the game.
Yeah.
But we've done it. We've got a second goal in our like 88th minute or so. We've got the goal to come 3 points. Relief.
Right, I've also been joined by the Newcastle's version of the Blues Brothers. He's a soul man.
Everybody.
He's just adjusting his microphone there. Right, go on then, Gordy. Hit me. You're looking cool and crisp today. The most coolest jester I've ever seen. Are you feeling cool coming out the stadium or not?
That's at half time I would have been. That second, obviously we've won the game.
Yeah.
That second half I was a bit like, like you didn't know who was having 10 men, who had 11 during that second half. But we were over the line, so that's the main thing.
How would you rate the overall performance then? I know you talked about the second half, which wasn't what we all expected or wanted, apart from the Bruno screamer, of course. Probably the best goal he scored for us, I'd probably argue. But how do you view the game overall?
We defended really well, we attacked really well. I'm going 3 points, end us.
I'm going to ask you what sounds like a negative question here. It's not. If we didn't, and there is still so much still to play for from every team involved, is it the end of the world if we secure Europa League or not? How do you view that?
How's it negative? We won a cup. We're in Europe.
I know.
We're in Europe again.
A lot of people will see it as the end of the world. I know they will in our fan base.
2-3 years ago, we're looking bottom of the league.
But are you looking at through your eyes or the owner's eyes? Because I think the owners would say different.
I can see the point of the owners because they want money, want better players.
Yeah.
But as a fan, as a realistic point of view,
and the point is, we could win the Europa
you
League.
win the Europa Cup. We're doing good. We went from being under Ashley 5 years ago, hoping for top, bottom 4.
Yeah.
Now we're fighting for top 5. You know what I mean? You can't beat that, can you? So.
No, I agree.
As long as we come, like Champions League, that's all that matters. But you want to finish as high up the table as you can. I would hate to rely on the Everton game. The last game, I would hate to rely on that. I want it done and dusted by that. Game
so you think it will be, or do you think it's going to go last? Is it inevitable that it's going to go last game?
It's always going to be inevitable.
Oh, God. Bank on the pints after be getting sunk before that one.
It's going to be... I'd love to be done by then. I think Arsenal get beat the day. We've beat them 3 times, so we'll beat them again.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
The last game of the season, depending on how they've done elsewhere. But Champions League.
Champions League's coming.
At time of recording. Leicester are beating
Making this very professional. At the time of recording.
Leicester's beating Forest, so that'll do me. So
I'll put the time on the screen if I can be asked to edit it that much.
Right,
So we're getting over the line then, is what you're saying. You're tiptoeing like hell.
We're not tiptoeing over the line, we are over that line.
Right, we're over the line. Not tiptoeing as much as you are right now. That's all I wanted to hear. Give me do you know any Blues Brothers songs?
Everybody. You! I need you! And you!
And it's you!
And you!
And you! And you! And you! Right, that'll do. Ding dang dong, we get the Champions League.